Esmee Solberg. In the span of 20 years, 50,000 of the 2 million Hawaiian agricultural acres of land have been destroyed for the use of housing and tourism destinations. This information is according to Tony L. Henthorne, who is an Associate Dean of Academics with the Hurrah College of Hospitality at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, in the journal MDPI, published in 2021. Many of us have dreamed about traveling around the world to different destinations or to different places that are vacation destinations. However, most of us have never considered how these vacation destinations got to the way that they are today and what they used to be like in the past. The Hawaiian state government should restrict further land development in Hawaii for tourism purposes. First, I will talk about the problems that tourism and land development have caused in Hawaii, and then I will talk about a possible solution for fixing this issue. Although there are many different problems that are caused by tourism and land development in Hawaii, the loss of culture is a main one. Many of the Hawaiian natives have decided to leave Hawaii due to the fact that their land and their culture is being destroyed. When tourists come to Hawaii, they often don't know what the culture is like and versus what it is like actually like. The land in Hawaii is being destroyed by tourism, and when we develop land for tourism, the natives aren't happy with it, so most of them leave. This causes the culture in Hawaii to diminish because it is no longer there. Another issue that tourism and land development have caused in Hawaii is the fact that tourism disrupts the daily life of the Hawaiian locals. This can also make the native Hawaiians leave Hawaii, as well as the locals who are already living there. The respect that vacationers have for Hawaiians and their land is rather poor. People treat Hawaii as though it is only a vacation destination, when in reality, it is home to many people and not just a place where people go to vacation. Imagine people coming to Zumbrota to vacation and them just destroying our town and also not being polite to us and not being respectful. This is how Hawaiian locals and natives feel on the daily. Another problem that has arose from tourism and land development in Hawaii is the effect it has had on ecosystems. Ecosystems are no longer being preserved the way that they should be because we are taking advantage of the land and using it for things that it was not meant to be used for. This information is according to Natasha Borland, who is an award-winning freelance writer who specializes in international relations and affairs in the journal San Francisco Gate, published in 2021. The rate at which we are destroying Hawaiian land is not keeping up with the rate at which we are preserving and putting back into the land. As Leanne Yu, an award-winning writer and anthropologist with a PhD in anthropology and bachelor's in art in the journal ProQuest, published in 2022, said, "We cannot continue this rate at which we are right now because it is not beneficial to Hawaii and its land." Another relevant issue in Hawaii is the effect that tourism and land development has on the economy. The Hawaiian economy is very reliant on tourism, and when different things happen throughout the world, it greatly affects the Hawaiian economy. As Natalie B. Compton, a staff writer and reporter for the Washington Post in the journal The Washington Post, published in 2021, had mentioned, COVID-19 had a great effect on the Hawaiian economy because when people weren't allowed to travel to Hawaii anymore, their economy went down because they weren't getting the business and the money that they needed from the tourism anymore. And according to Kwong Lim Seo, an associate professor of hospitality at the University of Hawaii with a PhD in hospitality and the journal Science Direct, published in 2021, homelessness is you see a lot of homelessness in Hawaii, and when the economy isn't doing well, you can see that people aren't able to get jobs anymore because a lot of the jobs in Hawaii are based off of tourism. So when they can't get jobs, then there's often a lot of homelessness from it. Now that I have discussed a few issues that tourism and land development have caused in Hawaii, I will talk about a possible solution that we can implement into fixing this issue. In order to stop land development in Hawaii, we need to redirect where we are putting our money in Hawaii. Right now, we're using our money to destroy land and build up like vacation destinations. What we need to do is use that money to maintain the land and ecosystems that are already there, as well as use the money to maintain the tourist destinations that are already there, rather than adding more. Another thing that we can do is inform people just like all of you about the different culture and the land importance in Hawaii. If people understood the culture in Hawaii and how important it is to the natives as well as just the locals, then people would be more understanding of the fact that it's not just a vacation destination, and it is a home to people, animals, and a bunch of living things. First, I talked about the problems that tourism and land development have had on Hawaii, and then I talked about a possible solution to these issues. The Hawaiian state government should restrict further development of land in Hawaii. As agricultural land is being destroyed for our vacationing pleasure, we need to remember what the land started as and what we are doing to it that is destroying it.
6:30.